Learning how to quiet my YouTube addiction without deleting the app became a personal mission that forced me to understand my own psychology, my habits, and the invisible triggers that kept pulling me back into endless scrolling, recommended videos, and the comforting loop of dopamine hits that short form and curated content provide. I realized that deleting the app was never the real solution, because the moment I reinstalled it, the cycle started again. So instead I focused on retraining my mind and reshaping my environment in a way that weakened the impulse itself. First, I turned off autoplay and notifications, because every ping, bell, and flashing thumbnail was like a tiny invitation that hijacked my attention before I even had time to think. Without these triggers, the urge became weaker, and the app stopped feeling like an emergency button I had to press. Then I unfollowed or muted the channels that fed my overconsumption, the ones that posted constantly, created hype-driven content, or pushed me into late-night binge-watching, and replaced them with educational, slow-paced, long-form creators that encouraged mindful viewing rather than impulsive clicking. I also moved the app away from my home screen and buried it deep into a folder, because even that tiny distance forced my brain to become conscious of the decision, instead of opening it automatically, out of muscle memory. Over time, I introduced a rule. I could only open YouTube with a purpose, never out of boredom, which meant I had to ask myself a simple question each time. Why am I opening this right now? And if the answer wasn't clear, I closed the app. I timed my sessions with a 10-minute limit to prevent myself from falling into the algorithmic rabbit hole, and surprisingly, the act of setting boundaries made the experience more meaningful. As days passed, I noticed silence returning to my mind, my focus sharpening, and my dopamine becoming stable instead of spiking every few minutes. I learned to fill the empty moments with healthier habits like reading, journaling, or simply sitting with my thoughts, because addiction grows strongest in the spaces where discipline is weakest. Slowly, YouTube became a tool instead of a trap, a resource instead of a routine, and I realized that freedom from digital addiction didn't come from deleting the app, but from reclaiming control over the way I used it. In the end, the power wasn't in the platform. It was in my ability to say not now and choose presence over distraction, clarity over chaos, and balance over temptation.